The Gory Gays.
Let the harvest begin.
Some secrets should never be learned. Some borders should never be crossed. Some games
Are you here?
should never be played. Witchboard 2, in a place of unholy refuge,
You're obsessed with that Ouija board.
where a game has evil powers.
What's happening to you, Paige?
I just got tired of.
A mystery has forbidden secrets, and one soul
Could you find out how she died?
has taken another. Discover the horror of Witchboard 2. No door will hide you. No weapon will save you.
Who's there?
Not even death
You open a door, and the spirits can step through.
will free you. Brace yourself for a journey into the future
What the hell do you want from me?
of fear.
You can't kill me. I'm already dead.
Witchboard 2. The Devil's Doorway.
And welcome. Yeah, I don't even finish my words. And's not really a word though, is it? It's like a conjunction. Is that a thing? Conjunction? What is conjunction? Let's Google conjunction. What is and? And is a conjunction. Oh my God, I didn't make that up. I was in honors English, just so all of you know. And I used to pride myself on it, but then realized that I retained actually nothing. But just so we're all clear, and is a conjunction, a word that connects words, phrases, or clauses, and is primarily used to indicate addition or combination. For example, bread and butter shows a combination of two items, and it can also indicate a sequence of events such as I ate dinner and went to bed. The whole point of that was because I didn't finish the word and. So you're all welcome. Welcome back to the Gory Gays, the horror podcast where normally there are two of us, two boyfriends who slash up and bleed out your favorite horror movies, mostly but not limited to the black sheep, underrated, and forgotten gems of the genre. I'm Stanley. It's an off week for Alex. It's been like an off month for Alex. We came back for our birthdays that we share together, like all of you know, and then promised an episode 51 and then disappeared again. I was here. I did an episode or two, or maybe just one. I can't remember. I know that I did Teen Witch. That happened. We did a Teen Witch episode here on the Patreon where I've just basically committed to audio commentaries, which I've been really happy about. I've been happy to just sit down, press play, slash up, and bleed out my favorite underrated gems of the genre. Come on, you guys. Pumpkinhead 2 was a lot of fun. Am I wrong or am I right? I don't know if I can say the same thing about movies like The Eyes of My Mother, but it was worth watching, correct? And let's be real. Teen Witch is an actual gem of a film, and it's kind of inspired me to put other movies on this audio commentary list. The last sub-series that I was doing, I had called it 49 and a half because we had yet to do episode 50 together, Alex and I. So I'm still doing a sub-series rather, but I'm calling it Solo Stanny. So when Alex and I are not able to convene together, which is going to happen more, we kind of did like a little lineup that we're going to do for the rest of July. We'll talk about that here in a few minutes. But yeah, I'm just gonna call this Solo Stanny and just do more of these. Anyway, Teen Witch inspired me to add some more lighthearted, if you will, films to this summer lineup, and one of them is going to be Showgirls. I don't know who wants to join me for that one. If you want to, by all means, let me know. But I will have just as much fun talking about it all on my own. We went to Vegas recently, and I'll save the bulk of that conversation for this next episode that Alex and I do together for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Return, I think is what it's called. No, The Next Generation. But every time I return from Vegas, I usually put on Showgirls. And I watched it this morning. And now I just wish I was talking about that movie, because when you put Witchboard 2, The Devil's Doorway, on one hand and Showgirls on the other, Showgirls is an actual masterpiece in comparison. And that's not to say that we are not going to have the best time talking about Witchboard 2, The Devil's Doorway, because this movie is... there's a lot to be said. I do wish it was shorter, because when I was... even when I was young, I remember watching it and being like, God, there's not a lot going on here. And I remember just always watching it. I don't know what had me with this film. There was something that really had me by my young balls, and I'm not sure what it was. Maybe it was my crush on Amy Dolan's, which I talk a lot about in my Pumpkinhead 2 commentary, which you're more than welcome to go listen to. It must have been the VHS cover. The poster of this movie is really, really captivating. I implore you, if you haven't looked at the Instagram, or Gory Gays Instagram, just go Google it. Go Google the Witchboard 2, The Devil's Doorway movie poster, and you see this blonde girl that sort of resembles Amy Dolan's, and it's her in a like negligee of sorts, and there's a Ouija board, and it's really cool, and there's like a hand reaching out of the Ouija board. It's grabbing her by the throat, and she looks like she's about to like hold on to it. You know what I mean? There's flames like wrapped around her, and it's really cool. And I want to give a shout out to Mark Chavez, who is one of the coolest guys we know. We see him at conventions all the time. I had bought one of his really cool pieces of art, I should say. And everybody just go follow his Instagram account and just go check out his art. He had one of these Witchboard 2, The Devil's Doorway. I don't even know. I guess they're called shadow boxes. And I will post a picture of it. It is one of the coolest fucking pieces of art that I own. His Instagram is Disco Bloodbath Art. And he makes these great shadow box pieces. Anyway, go check out his work. Go look at the poster of this movie. And let's just be clear that the poster of this film is a lot better than the film. We will also talk about how this is a sequel. The first film is worth watching, I suppose. I had said in my little Instagram post promoting this that the first film is skippable. You don't have to watch it, and that's true. This film, the sequel, is basically a remake. It's basically the same situations, the same characters. I think the setting might be a little bit different, and their scenarios are just a tad bit different, and they kind of just switch out the evil entity. You know what I mean? After watching the first one again, I think that the first one is a better movie, but I do think that the second one is more fun, and I'll point out why once we do press play together. But yeah, I'm not sure to this day why I enjoy this movie so much. It could be the terrible script. I think that when Kevin S. Tenney, or Kevin Tenney, whichever he decides to go by depending on the film, when he is responsible for writing a movie, I think he gets a little carried away. I'm a fan of some of his movies, and I guess we can talk about that now. He also is responsible for directing movies like Night of the Demons, which I fucking love. We talk about that over on the Gory Gays regular main channel as well. He is responsible for movies like Pinocchio's Revenge, which I have a soft spot for, but again, I haven't seen in full since I was like a kid. And then there's movies like Witchboard. He wrote it and directed it. It's pretty fucking stupid. I'm sorry, Witch Trap, not Witchboard. I kind of like Witchboard now. There is Night of the Demons 3, which he wrote I didn't necessarily love. And then there's TikTok, which is just like a really messy, stupid thriller. I think that when he's responsible for too much going on behind the scenes, that it can get a little convoluted and tangled, I guess. And also, he's not a terribly nice guy. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I met him at a little tiny convention once at a swap meet, and I don't know if it's because I didn't buy anything from him or what, but he just wasn't terribly nice. That doesn't negate the fact that some of the movies that he is responsible for, like Night of the Demons and the first Witchboard, and even parts of this, are decent. I will say that. But one thing that does bother me, which we'll get more into once the movie starts, he just recycles a lot of the same things that he does in all of his movies. He does a lot of the same camera work, a lot of the same direction. He tends to use a lot of the same cast members and a lot of the same team. And I don't know if that's why a lot of this stuff seems familiar. To me, it just seems like he's copying himself. And sometimes it just doesn't work the same. Like, there's a scene in this film that is taken directly out of Night of the Demons. In Night of the Demons, it's really cool because it seems new and it seems fresh, and it's kind of creepy because there's more characters involved in that particular scene, and it's quiet and moody and atmospheric. And in this one, it's in broad daylight, and it's fucking stupid, and it's written poorly. And if you've seen Night of the Demons, you're watching this and you're like, okay, what's going on here? So yeah, I guess I can talk a little bit about the relationship I have with this movie. I saw it when I was young, really young. I was probably 9 or 10. It was in the midst of my Amy Dolan's spree. And that was probably my main attraction to it, I guess. I probably saw it in the midst of watching all of those movies that I would rent at Blockbuster or Hollywood Video or Movie House Video. It was not one of the ones that I would take back, because, you know, you could rent a movie for 99 cents, and if you didn't like it, you could go back and get another one for free. Again, I was probably just really attracted to the cover. I remember re-renting this one. I would just re-rent it because something about it just struck me. I bought it from Suncoast Video, and I remember my friend Ryan Coe would always try to draw the cover for me, and he was a really good artist, still is. Check out his Facebook stuff. And then there was a Witchboard 3 that came out, and I never saw the entire thing. I saw some clips of it on like Cinemax one night and saw that there was a lot of sex in it, and then that like scared me because I was a kid, and I was like, oh my god, I can't watch this. So I remember this just being on like a heavy rotation, VHS wise, and then not really watching the full first film until I was like an adult. I didn't watch the first movie until I was probably in my 20s, and I didn't remember a lot of it. So I decided to watch the first one after I watched this one, after I decided that I was going to do a commentary for this one, because my friend Bill, out of nowhere, like a week ago, was like, hey, I watched Witchboard 2. It's a piece of shit. And I was like, oh, how funny. I should watch that. And I had, just watched Pumpkinhead 2, which I had a lot of fun with. I was watching this with Alex. He was actually kind of invested. He was like, this is really stupid, but it's fun. And the whole time I was just like, this wouldn't happen. This is fucking stupid. Oh my God. Oh my God. What? Like, I liked this? What? Oh my God. And so I just knew that it was something that I had to do for you guys, for the few people that may press play with me at a certain point, and just for myself, just to get this out of my system. So I'm really excited to slash this up and bleed this out with you guys. So thanks for hanging out with me, and for the few fans that this movie might have, this is for you guys, for you Witchboard fans, and for you weirdo Ouija, however you say it. I think it's Ouija. There are people out there who say Ouija. I don't fucking care what you call it. It's really called a Witchboard. I had one of these, by the way. My sister had one when I was a kid, and I would always steal it from her and always try to contact little boys and girls and other spirits. And come to think of it, she would always try to contact a little kid named David. And in the first film, I don't really think that this is a spoiler, the main little entity that they're trying to get a hold of is a kid named David. And my sister, at her little birthday parties and stuff, my sister Crystal was always trying to get a hold of a spirit named David. And I wonder if it's because she had seen this movie. I never really thought about that until the other night when I watched this. I'm on to you, Crystal. I'm on to you. Now that I think about it, my sister is the one who introduced me to a lot of these horror films, like Night of the Demons, like Mother's Day. So, all these years later, it's all coming to me. I see you, Crystal. I see you, Chubby. Huh. So, yeah, I guess a little bit about Witchboard 2, The Devil's Motherfucking Doorway. What a stupid subtitle, by the way. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think we ever really come into contact with any sort of doorway. And we certainly don't come into contact with any devil. Yeah, I'm going to tell you that now. I guess we should just get into the people under the stairs.
The people under the stairs.
Okay, so Witchboard 2, The Devil's Doorway is a 1993 American supernatural horror film written and directed, as we said, by Kevin S. Tenney. And we have Amy Dolenz as Paige, Christopher Michael Moore as Jonas, Lorraine Newman, yes, that Lorraine Newman, as Elaine, Timothy Gibbs as Mitch, John Gattens as Russell, Julie Michaels as Susan, Marvin Kaplan as Morris, and Sarah Kate Coughlin as Carla. And we are going to get a couple cameos from Todd Allen and Kenny Rhodes. They will be playing garbage men at the end of the film. They were in the first film. I don't know who Kenny Rhodes is. I think Kenny Rhodes might actually be... Wait, who the fuck is Kenny Rhodes? I have no idea who he was in the first movie, but apparently he was in the first film. But Todd Allen's is the main guy from Witchboard 1. I mean, maybe one day I'll talk about Witchboard 1. Witchboard 1 has a few fun things, but it's just so anticlimactic. It just wraps up in such a weird way, and I feel like that's like another problem with Kevin Tenney, is that his movies just end. You know what I mean? They just like are over, and I just think it's so fucking weird. Okay, so Amy Dolenz, I can just rant and rave about all day. I just love her. Like there are some movies are better than others, and she's not like the best actress in the world, but she just has a presence. She just has a presence, and she does what she can with what she's given. She's not active anymore. She hasn't acted since 2012 or 2010 or something like that. The last thing she did was, I think it was a movie called 2012 Doomsday. Gotta see it. Haven't seen it. But she was really active in the horror community for a long time. She was mainly in horror films. Like I talked about in the Pumpkinhead 2 episode, she was in movies like Pumpkinhead 2, obviously, Ticks. She was in Children of the Night, all movies worth watching. And Alex and I actually watched a movie a couple of nights ago. It's on YouTube. You can find it. It's called Stepmonster, and it's still a lot of fun. So if you guys get the chance, check it out. It's a fun little monster movie from back in the day that was always on the Disney Channel. She's in it, and she was always a 30-something playing a teenager, and it worked. It always worked. Here, it is interesting because just the year before, or the year after, she will be playing a high schooler. Here, she's playing an actual adult. So I kind of like that for her. Amy Dolenz. Amy Dolenz is wonderful. So even here, she's not given a lot of great things to do, but she's here for a paycheck, and that's cool. Timothy Gibbs is from Calabasas, which I think is kind of cool. I don't know if he is still acting or not. He owns a furniture showroom, a vintage furniture showroom in Spain, which is kind of neat. But he plays Mitch, and he's okay here. He kind of hams it up and has a lot of fun. We'll get into that. I do want to talk about John Gattens because he was also in Pumpkinhead 2 at the very beginning of the movie. And I think he's better there. He is kind of a garbage actor. He's not very good. He ended up becoming a director and getting nominated for an Academy Award for writing the movie Flight, with Denzel Washington. So I think that it's really interesting that he transitioned into being an Academy Award nominated writer, which I think is fucking awesome. But he also was in Leprechaun 3. So I think it's kind of funny that he was like in all these terrible horror movie sequels for a hot minute before becoming a really successful writer. But also he was in Varsity Blues. He was in The Shaggy Dog, Fred the Movie, like a bunch of really stupid fucking movies. And I guess they thanked him in the movie Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene. I wonder why. That's interesting. That's a fucking crazy movie, by the way. Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene. Fucking love it. And Lorraine Newman, you guys, she plays, oh, what is her name in this movie? She plays, I already said it, Elaine. And she's like the landlady. You all may know her from Saturday Night Live. She was part of the original cast. She was on it for like 5 years, but she was in the movie Problem Child too, and she used to scare the shit out of me when I was little because of that movie. If you guys have not seen Problem Child 2, I strongly suggest it. It's so stupid and so fun and so over the top, and I might watch it later, and you never know. Maybe one day I'll fucking do a commentary on that. But Lorraine Newman is a trip. Like, so fun, and she's actually really great in this. Upon revisiting this, I was nervous because when I was little, I didn't get it, but as I grew up and found respect for Saturday Night Live and comedy and improv and all that stuff, like, this last watch, I had a lot of fun watching her, and her character is probably one of the best parts of the movie. I think Julie Michaels was a Penthouse playmate or a Playboy playmate. She plays Susan. I have a lot to talk about with this character, simply because we had an old neighbor named Susan who was fucking irritating and stupid. But Julie Michaels also appears at the beginning of Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday, which is ironically one of my favorites in that franchise. Not a lot to say about the rest of the cast because they're not really there. The movie was filmed in various parts of Los Angeles, and I guess they used a real artist loft in Hollywood. There was a private office that Kevin Tenney owned that they used for the accounting stuff. Apparently, the movie was given a limited theatrical release. I do not see that actually being a thing, but it was released on September 10th, 1993. It was edited by Daniel Duncan. Cinematography by David Lewis, and I think that the music, it doesn't say it here, but I want to say the music was by his brother, because usually his brother Dennis does the music for most of his films. Let me make sure that I'm not making this up. The Devil's Doorway. The movie is 1 hour and 38 minutes, just in case you're curious. I feel like it could have been 1 hour and 20 minutes and we would have been fine. Composer. The music is Dennis Michael Tenney. Fun fact about Dennis Michael Tenney, he is the one who taught me how to use a green screen. You are welcome. Okay, as I was saying, Witchboard 2, it was filmed on a budget of $2.5 million. Who could tell you what it made back in the few theaters it was released on September 10th, 1993. Apparently it was released in St. Louis, Nashville, and Sacramento, and Detroit. The best places to release a little sequel such as this. As far as critical response goes, TV Guide gave it 2 out of 5 stars. And, I'm sorry, IMDb gave it 5 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 24%. I think that out of a 5, I could tell you right now that on my last watch, I probably gave it a 2 out of 5, and that was for nostalgia's sake only. But that rating is probably going to change at the end of this viewing, and I can't wait to figure out what that's going to be. I know that when Alex and I were watching it the other night, the first thing that happened on the screen I complained about. Like the very first frame, I was like, oh, come on. So when that happens, I'll point it out to you. So yeah, you guys, Witchboard 2, The Devil's Doorway, is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to pressing play here in just a moment. I don't know where we can watch this together, so let's find out right now. You know me, I own this motherfucker. I think you can too. Let's see where we can stream it together. You can watch it on Amazon Prime for $3.79, Apple TV for $3.99, or Fandango for $3.99. But if you want to be cute, you can watch it for free on YouTube, and you can thank the Blu-ray provider for that, because it looks like that All of Films is the one that is responsible for that. So that's how much they care about this film. The quality is not perfect, I will admit that, but neither is the actual Blu-ray quality. It looks like the Blu-ray rip is literally ripped directly onto YouTube. So I suggest just streaming it on YouTube. But like I said, I have the actual Blu-ray like a chump. So, if you guys are up to it, I am up to it. And I failed you last time with Teen Witch. I was like, oh yeah, like I'll figure out a cute little game for us to play together. Look, if you want to be a dirty little alcoholic or drug addict, it's on you. if you want to drink throughout this, by all means, just do it, because it's just gonna make your experience that much more intense and more fun for you. You know what I mean? I'll probably partake in whatever I decide to do on my own end, because that's just where I'm at in life, and I'm not going to tell you yes or no. It's called Witchboard 2, The Devil's Doorway. You feel me? And it's an hour and 38 minutes. It's about a fucking haunted Ouija board. The end. So you do you, girl. You do you. I'm just happy you're here, and I'm happy to be here. Maybe you'll be one of the 87% of Google users who like this stupid fucking movie. And to be clear, I did a little poll and asked if I should watch part 3 for educational purposes. There was like 29% of you who said no. The rest of you said that I should. I didn't, and I'm so sorry. I did watch clips. I watched a couple of clips, and it was not something I was missing. I don't think, maybe one day, but I don't think The Possession, which is what that one is called, is something that any of us are missing on our Gory Gay dar. So, yeah.
Welcome home, Sydney. Watch the preview of coming events.
A little housekeeping real quick. So the next episode that Alex and I are doing together is also going to be coming out next week. That is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation, or The Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That was going to be a Pride Month episode, but it just did not work out that way. But it's in the works. So look forward to that from us. And we also have a couple I Know What You Did Last Summer episodes lined up. So we will be covering I Know What You Did Last Summer from 1997, followed by I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, followed by a little mini-sode for I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025, because, yo, we're not dumb. We are aware of the renaissance of this fucking series and the reawakening of the franchise, and we are as stoked as everybody else. And also, I have been in touch with my dear, very, very wonderful close friend Monica, and we have finally scheduled a time to get the craft audio commentary done. So we are gonna have that as our Halloween in July commentary. So look forward to that. We're not sure if Alex is going to be recording with us or not, but we have finally committed, and it's literally been in the works for like a year. And yeah, we're really looking forward to getting that off the ground for you guys. So that will be specifically for Patreon. Everything else I just listed, aside from the new I Know What You Did Last Summer minisode, is going to be on our main feed over at the Gory Gays. Yeah, so go make sure to stay tuned for all that shit. Okay, thank you for that. As I was saying.
Stop staring at me.
Damn it, Suzanne, your makeup is fine. Come on, what are you worried about? Ah! Jeez! Christ!
Stop looking at me!
Ah! Oh, damn it! Ah!
That was painless. Thank you for tolerating all of the random onslaught of info. All of this was kind of scattered, but you have to just deal with it. Okay, so now that we are all set, hopefully you have had time to pull up your copy of this, whether you have paid for it or have just got it for free off of YouTube. Whatever you have decided is completely fine with me. Let's prepare to press play on this nasty little bad boy. So if you just want to get your knuckles cracked and put your hands on the planchette, that's the little triangular thing. I have one tattooed on my chest, actually. Oh my god, I didn't realize just how in tune with the Ouija I actually am. And by the way, Ouija means yes and yes. If you put it together, it's yes and yes. All right. In 5 seconds, we're going to press play. You get me? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press play now.